This is episode 33 of Silver Lining for Learning. It's a special episode. Not only is the best holiday in America, we have the best people to join us coming from a long, long ways away. And they're not just coming for any old reason. These are people who are learning and studying lots and lots of courses. Write me an email if you want to see all of them. It's amazing the amount of courses they're taking to learn English and other things to prepare them for college and life, both. And so we have two special guests as well as 5 students joining us from Nepal. The 2 special guests are joining us, wrote a chapter in my recent book on MOOCs and open education in the Global South. Bayman is a high school teacher in Nepal, and he's an English language teacher, and he got excited about possibilities of learning English using technology. And he's a recipient of various awards from the Australian government and other places, thinking about a doctorate, right? Thinking about furthering his own education, maybe in Hong Kong or somewhere. So it's really a privilege and an honor. You can go to the website and read the full bio. I won't read it for you. I'm going to have them explain it. And Bishwa Gottman is coming to us and manages English language programs for the U.S. Embassy in Nepal and providing teacher training and materials and open education. And he's given various plenary addresses and keynote addresses in South Asia and around the world. So I want them to briefly explain what they've been doing, what got me excited, what got them excited, before we have some of the students talk about what they've been able to accomplish. And then we'll ask them a set of questions. We'll have 2 students and then some questions, 2 more students and then some questions, then the last one, and then some questions, as well as audience questions. So Bayman, Bishwa, which one of you would like to just explain for a minute or 2 what you've been doing there?
Okay.
I think Bayman sir, you please go ahead first.
Okay. Thank you very much, Kurt, for the opportunity. As he has introduced me, I'm an English teacher here in Nepal. I've been teaching for about 2 decades in a private school here. Actually, in around 2010, I was much distressed with my profession. And I thought, like, I should rather be either go to the Gulf countries the way a big number of Nepalese as well as others go. That's because you can have a handsome money there. And you know, teaching profession doesn't pay big in Nepal. Or I had to look for some innovative measures to guide the students here in Nepal. And I opted for the second. I didn't think for going to Gulf countries, but I decided to stay back and started exploring some opportunities. And at the meantime, in 2013, I got to see one opportunity for an online course that's named Stepping the Way We Teach English Now. That was offered by the professors from Arizona. Oh, sorry, not from Arizona, but from, oh, I forgot. Okay, so whatsoever. And Oregon, University of Oregon, Deborah Hilley and Elizabeth Hansel Smith. Now, they too have been leading the program, and that was funded by US government. So I took that course and I thought, if I can do it, why can't my students? Then I started exploring some courses for my students. Because at the meantime, we were having some internet facilities all across the country. I mean, the facility was reaching the increasing number of students. And that's how I started here in my school. And of course, I didn't ask my students to take the courses for teacher education, but the courses that could suit their level. Back to you, Kurt.
Well, we've got a professor here from Oregon. Did you want to comment on that, Young?
Well, I used to teach in Oregon, not anymore, but I was in Oregon for 5 years. They do have a very, very strong program in TESOL and teaching second language education. It is truly about they had a national center. So yeah, I'm glad that that helped, that moved. Thanks, Bayman.
So it was a pleasure for me to meet them there in TESOL conference in 2017 in Seattle.
And Bayman, before we go to Bishwa, the students have gotten a lot of certificates from what they've done. You sent me pictures about how far ranging is this program become? How many people have been impacted?
Okay, so during our informal talks right at the beginning, I shared it with Dr. Young. So I started with just 27 students in my school in late 2014. And out of 27 students, only 18 students completed the course. And so should not say only, but 18 students completed the course with high distinction. And the first course that they have taken was teaching English, English grammar and essay writing from University of California. And that gave me an extra energy. Yes, my students can do it. Slowly, I ran some workshops for some neighboring schools here in my locality. They invited me for some sessions. Then I ran one workshop with the grant I received from IREX from Washington, DC. And that facilitated over 70 students from my locality. Then it reached RELO, Regional English Language Office, US Embassy, Nepal, and they offered me one grant through the Department of States itself, and that reached across the country. And so far, I have directly reached over 3,000 students and teachers from here in Nepal on different MOOC workshops. And through those students whom I mentored, through those teachers whom I mentored, now I can proudly say that at least 8,000 high school students and teachers have completed at least one online course. And I feel really proud to see them mooking crazily these days.
Impact. And it spreads. The germs, the seeds that you've set spread around the whole country.
Yeah,
right?
Thank you.
Yeah, very good. And we'll hear from them. So Bishwa, would you like to comment and extend a little bit about what Bayman has said?
Thank you, Kurt. Hello, everyone. And hello, dear MOOCers from Nepal and Bayman. The enthusiastic teachers, can you hear me, Kurt? Okay,
we can
great.
hear you. It's
okay.
a little bit light, but we can definitely hear you. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, like Bayman, we have so many interested teachers, and this opportunity of MOOC came along for me with my job responsibility or job interest in my job. So I started putting massive open learning platforms from various US organizations like Bayman mentioned, and so many other universities and independent teacher training institutions like World Learning. So yeah, and we've been promoting this, and we have been getting support of the educators, other teachers. And we have been actually making it kind of not compulsory, but kind of program in our various programs like Access Program, English Language Fellow Program, and so many other programs of Regional English Language Office of the state. So yeah, basically we have been promoting it through the Department of State. Yeah.
Excellent. Before we go to the students to hear their stories, does one of the hosts, Young, Chris, Punya, would you like to jump in here and ask one of them a question?
I think Punya is ready to go.
Okay, Punya.
Well, I was going to go jump to the students, but this is really fascinating because for a variety of reasons, that the manner in which, I mean, this is one of the things I think that America has sort of forgotten. like growing up in India, the USIS and other organizations like that were incredibly important for my growth and development in learning. The library there, we didn't have MOOCs back then. We didn't have the internet, we didn't have all of that. But I think that, so thank you, Gautam and Bayman, for sharing that, because I think that's, an example of sort of soft power that is like incredibly important for the development overall of the globe. And it's really exciting to see the numbers of students who have been impacted. So I really don't have a question. It's just a comment about, I think, how important these tools are in spreading knowledge and, and just learning across the world. And I wish that we would continue, I hope that we can continue this down the road as well. The other thing that's kind of interesting is to see the word MOOC become a verb. I had never heard of mooking before, and I've now heard this more times, like 10 times already. So that's kind of interesting how language also evolves, and it's now a word. But I really want to actually start with the students, because I'm really curious and excited to learn about your experience with this tool and device. So Richa and Vibhushi, I think if you guys can go. So Richa, let's start with you. Just tell us a little bit about yourself, how old you are, how many classes you've taken, and basically, but more importantly, what your experience of learning in this manner has been, because it's a very different way of learning. And I think you guys started pretty young on this, so it'll be curious to see how what your experience was. So we'll first go with Richa, and once Richa is done, Vibhushi, I'll reach out to you.
Thank you so much, sir. Namaste, everyone. Here I am Richa, 9th grader of Gurukul Academy, a school in Far West. I am 13 years old and I am a MOOC enthusiast. So I am going to start with the benefits I have gained from MOOCing. For me, the foremost thing is that it gives me pride of association with well-known universities of the world, always helpful to me to keep me on track of learning and meeting the goals of learnings. Especially during lockdown and school closure, it was like a gift hamper for us. Something could allow us feel success every day. And now access to knowledge is not limited to course book or random browsing rather than a structured course. So here are, now I would like to tell the challenges and then success I have achieved. I think only accessibility doesn't ensure engagement or real productive engagement. If I recall this lockdown first few weeks, I was with self-scheduled online learning phase, and there I didn't have any fixed target or deadline. So my background knowledge and awareness on MOOCing helped me a bit, which was kind of droplets of Bayman Sir's MOOC campaign back in 2016. I was encountered with the challenge of rigorous, peer-graded assignments. Sometimes the courses I liked or I choose were not with the 100% financial aid. Some courses with a lot of capstone projects and like some courses with fixed start and deadlines. So I hardly completed one course in a week. Then I got motivated from my mentors, and as they shared my achievements, each and every achievements to wider community. And so I had kind of pressurized to maintain that expectation of everyone. So then have I started like to have full dedication, and then continued my online journey.
Thank
So I
you,
have
Richa.
so far completed more than 60 courses.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. That's awesome. That's awesome. Vibhushi, do you want to follow up and tell us your experience and tell us a little bit about yourself and your experience?
And before you start, I'll just mention that Vibhushi took a course when she was 10 years old on beginning computer science for beginners from Harvey Mudd College. So she started when she was 10. She is now 15 years old, and she's received at least 30 certificates and counting. She can tell us more. So go ahead.
Hello everyone, it's me Vibhushi Sena. I am a student of Motherland Secondary School. I am currently reading in grade 11. Now I would like to begin with my first MOOC experience. When I knew about MOOC, I took a lot of advantage of it. Almost 5 years ago, when I was at an early age of 10 years, I took my first MOOC and it was a great experience indeed. I jumped into Joy when I got my first certificate. It really motivated me to join more and more MOOCs. But it was pretty difficult for me to continue my MOOCs because of my regular classes, either physical or online classes, a lot of assignments, and as well as the problem of the current power supply and the internet interruption in our area. So, but I decided to continue doing MOOCs, and I have completed more than 30 plus MOOC in last 5 years, and I think the MOOC has really helped me in my everyday learning also. It has supported a lot in my regular studies. I took courses that fit my interest. I can learn at my own pace, and I can take the course whenever I want, and I can even rewatch the video whenever I didn't understand about the topic. When I was in difficulties, but I wasn't left in the dust. I got immense support from my mentor Bayman sir and my parents. Whenever I got certificates, Bayman sir used to show it in our school and to a wider community, and it really motivated me to do more and more MOOC courses. And my motivation for doing MOOCs is my own interest in learning and exploring new things. Thank you.
Thank you,
Can I
Vibhushi.
jump in? Sonia,
Zhao,
I
yes,
jump in?
Zhao, go ahead.
I was just very struck by this session, Kurt. I've seen a lot of amazing things happening in different parts of the world, but from you, the students, you are very capable. You are leading this. It sounds like taking the MOOC courses also has to build in your leadership. Like you are leading a lot of these changes. You are being determined, self-responsible. Can you actually just now what Richa and any one of you comment on that? How does help you to become an independent learner?
I when I started doing online courses in a managed pattern, like daily I started doing 2 or 3 in a week, sharing to wider community. I even shared my experiences, and I also give them some advices and tricks to do online courses to my friends, to my juniors. I also had 2 or 3 personal Zoom sessions with teachers and my juniors in order to help them with enrolling online courses and applying for financial aid. So in that way also, we also had some program in Hungary, like 2 or 3, 5, 6 schools were there, and I also had a program with Zoom meeting with them in with the principals and students of other schools, helping them with enrolling to online courses, and a strategy, what strategy I use in completing online courses and my experience.
And
Thank
not to
you.
miss
That's very
there,
helpful.
he
Thank you.
has
Actually,
developed one
Zhao,
YouTube video on how to enroll the courses in Coursera. Just 13-year
so
old girl has been giving the trainings to the teachers and developed YouTube video too. Thank you.
that's good.
Sorry for
I
interrupting.
just actually I want to follow up on Zhao's question. Or should we, Kurt, just from the point of view of time,
No, go
cover
ahead.
all
Go
the
ahead,
students,
please.
and
Go
I'll
ahead.
come back
Yeah.
to the question?
No. Go ahead. We have
Okay,
time.
so actually, I think I'm going to hold on that question till we have introduced all the students, given everybody a chance to speak. So I would like to go now to Sneha and Saugat. So Sneha, Saugat, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself and sort of your experience with this, and I'll hold on to my question, and I will come back to that. Sneha?
Hello everyone, I'm Sneha Adhikari, currently a 10th grader in Motherland Secondary School. So my journey in MOOCs started in the beginning of the lockdown. We had nothing to do. Our formal classes were not started yet, so I was introduced to MOOCs. And it seemed like a new way to learn, outside of our textbooks and course books. So I remember the first time, my first course, when I was completing and doing my first course, I did not tell my parents about that. So one day my mom came into my room and she said, you should not stay in front of your laptop all the time. She was completely unaware about the fact that I was learning. So when I completed the course and my certificate came 15 days later, she was very proud of me. I showed the certificate to all of my family members and they were so proud of me, and they got to know what I was doing. Even though our formal classes had not started yet, they were proud that I was learning myself independently. I got through many problems. The main problem for me was the internet connection. Whenever I'm watching a video in my course, the video stops every 30 seconds and it's quite annoying. So how I dealt with that problem was I downloaded all the videos and I screenshotted all the quizzes and readings so that I can continue my learning even if the electricity is gone and the internet is slow, and that's how I coped with that problem. We have 5 hours of online classes now. It was quite uneasy for me to manage my schedule and manage both online classes, assignments, and my MOOCing at the same time. So I kind of managed and slipped the MOOCing on Saturdays after my classes were finished. So that's how I got through that. And what my biggest accomplishment is that whenever I'm reading, my sister comes and sits beside me. And whenever I am reading, I get the certificates. She is a bit inspired to learn in that way. So I have created an account for her to complete some MOOCs. She has not started yet, but because of me, if she starts, that will make me the proudest sister. And that's my experience of MOOCs. Thank you.
Thank you, Sneha. Thank you very much. Thank you.
We're
Saugat?
all proud of
Go to
you.
you
We're
then.
all proud of you, everyone here.
Saugat?
Yes, sir. Hello, everyone. Namaste. Warm greetings to everyone. It's me, Saugat Gotra's 8th grade 10. I started moving at the after the camp, after the Pokhara camp, when I was at class 8. It was very difficult for me to do MOOC because I belong from a rural area. As being from a rural area, I am very difficult to understand the languages, meaning of the words while doing MOOCs. So, because in our school, once a day of period is taught English, where teacher used to speak Nepali while teaching us English. So it's very difficult for us to understand while doing MOOC. And one most important thing, the internet stability is not well. So I faced a lot of problem, but without facing problem, we can't gain success. Is the most important thing in our life. But I gained much more success after doing MOOCs. I have done over 75 courses in after joining the MOOC, after my camp at Pokhara. I gained a lot of success, like gaining the compliments, blessings from my teachers, mentors, and my parents. After doing one course, two course, that gives me more feelings of doing more. It made me curiosity how other course will be, and I started to do one course, two course, and I started completing over more than 75 courses. So it made me curiosity how other courses will be. So so it changed the way of thinking of mine little bit more. And
Th-
I helped many more friends of singers too
Thank you, Saugat. Thank you very
to
much.
do courses.
Thank you. It's very inspiring, and you can see from the comments that are in the YouTube chat that people are very inspired by hearing your stories, because there are lots of challenges around access to technology and internet and so on. And despite that, you guys have sort of persevered and and focused on your own development and learning, and through that inspiring others. That's just awesome. I'm just curious, I'm just want to follow up on something Zhao sort of alluded to in the beginning, which is that you guys had become sort of owners of your own learning. So one thing I'm curious about, that you started most probably with maybe like, somebody said a computer science course, or maybe like introduction to computers, or something like language. Have the MOOCs, the accessibility, the availability of these opened up other topics that you have jumped into, which you didn't initially think that you would like to learn about? I'm just like something that you personally found interesting, whether it might be physics or it might be history or music. I don't know. I'm just curious to know if, since you guys have done so many of these, have you moved away from what you started with and said, oh, I can learn about this and that, which I was not aware of before? And I'll just leave it open to whoever wants to step in. I'm just really curious to see if that sort of opened other opportunities or things to learn, topics to learn about.
And Punya, before the answer, I think, and Bayman, you can confirm this, initially the goal was English, right? For many of them, maybe not all of them. And so I've got one of my language ed students in YouTube listening in, and she's, so right, is the initial goal was English or not?
Okay, thank you, Kurt, for offering me the opportunity to speak up. Indeed, the goals vary as per the students. So what happened was, I said, like it was in 2015, my students completed the course. And I came up with some strategies how to promote it to other schools in my community and to other students across the country. Then I had one of the local journalists publish that note in a newspaper. That was circulated across the valley. And oh, students from a school, they have completed a course from University of California, from USA, and got the certificates. So they grew up a kind of curiosity to others. And then I started getting calls from them. What is this? How it can be done? How you connected your students with American universities? Then, like this way, my workshops were extended to other schools, and I used to voluntarily go to other schools on weekends and give the sessions. And what I found is there are a couple of reasons. One, for example, if you check even Nepal's context, 76.67% of the citizens in the country have an access to internet, and that is 10% more than that of last year. So internet access is reaching a wider group of people, and of course the gadgets are available to different students, and these students have been jumping into some games and others, and that's what has been irritating the guardians, and they are looking for some way out to engage their kids. And when I offered them something, it happened to be a nice gift for them. Oh, when they MOOC, they can be connected to the course. And also, you have seen Saugat here. So for him, I bet like Saugat has improved his English a lot because of MOOCing. I feel, because I know how English classes are run in public schools, and he used to share with me that he gets just 45 minutes a day class in English, all others in Nepali. Even English is taught in Nepali now. So it's how it goes. Even then, now see how fluently and how confidently he has been speaking. I feel really, really proud of the achievements these students have done. And the other thing is, these students need something to silence their guardians, because they have been barking at them about, oh, internet, you are Facebooking. No, mom, as Sneha said. So Chris must be proud to see it's Harvard University. One of my students completed a course from Harvard University, and he got a certificate. And like, they go to the mom, see, who is this? I think I can't read it out. So they have a reason to get the compliments from the guardians. Oh, my child did this course. And these guardians slowly promote this case. My child is a Harvardian. My child is an Indianian. My child is an Arizonian. Now, something like that. So parents, these kids want to get the compliments from the guardians and the community members, and not to miss also from the school, because their benchmates, they can proudly be feeling, hey, I'm somebody special because I've done something that very few people in the country has done. Not just about this school, very few people in the country have done. And this kind of self-satisfaction, okay, self-confidence keeps them keeps them mooking now. So I love the term mooking now, and I have written there. I say at the end of every workshop, I say curtail Facebooking and start mooking now. And I feel really nice that it has been, and you know that in Nepal's context, this internet has been a reason of family conflict, familial discord between the father and the mother. Because when father comes home from the office, or when mom comes home from the office, then she says, oh, my child is playing. Hey, what are we doing? Why didn't you ask him to stop playing with the mobile? No? Then the guardians, like, instead of doing something different, if their kids do the courses from some American universities or from European universities, both the parents feel proud. Oh, my lovely daughter, my lovely son. So this is how these students who have been MOOCing have helped harmonize the relation between the father and the mother. And I have seen a number of such cases when the guardians used to bark at these students, they used to quarrel, but they both feel proud of who they have. And of course, it's not just English. This is about all, different layers. Now it has caused different layers of society. Back to you, Kurt.
So can I ask a question? Do we have everybody speaking yet? But
No, we
I'm
have
just
one
curious
left. We
about
have one
every-
left.
Oh, we have one student.
Yeah, I
left.
would like the student maybe say something about how do you manage the time? So your students, you have your own courses, and then you're doing MOOCs. And how do we combine that? How do we find time to do that? Yeah, who hasn't spoken? Let's bring the student out.
Yeah, Suyukti, can you please go?
Suyukti, please.
You're muted, maybe.
We can't hear you, Suyukti.
Yes, go ahead.
We can't hear you.
Your microphone is not working, Suyukti.
Can you?
Yes.
Yes, we have you.
Managing time has been very difficult issue for me because during grade 8 we have BLE and we are taught very much for it. We have classes from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and after we get home we have to complete the homework assignments. But we do manage. I have managed time by completing the classwork, taking notes before, like taking notes, and I have been online class has not, has not hampered my study at all. I complete all my assignments, all my classwork, and I do the courses when I find that there is time and I can still continue to do the courses. And during class 8, the courses I did decreased slightly because of that, but I have been managing pretty well.
You're great. Thank you, Suyukti. And so I was just wondering if for that question, anyone else may have, we want to talk a little bit about how do you manage your time? You know, some of you, Sugata, you've done like 70 courses, 30 courses. So how about others? Anyone wants to give me an answer?
And also, someone was going to answer Punya's question too about courses, that you extended beyond what you plan to learn. You took additional courses. And so either point, Dr. Mishra's question or Dr. Zhao's question, if anyone wants to jump in on those.
I want to jump to Job's questions. May I?
Yeah.
It's very difficult to manage time because why? Because in our study, only doing assignments, homework assignments is essential for our teachers, Nepali teachers. So doing homework assignment is very difficult, and we used to complete before our nights. And I especially think that doing peer graded assignments of courses is should be done at night, because our assignments will be checked and reviewed very fast. So I used to do my courses at night. And my mother, so, I think my mother is uneducated, but she helped me a lot, because in this rural area, many people thinks till night waking up is not right. But my mother helped me a lot for me that to wake up till night and doing courses. She understand me. She never asked me were you where why were you waking up till night. So it was very difficult to manage time, but I managed the time after doing my works at homes also. So it was pretty well.
Thank you. Anybody else?
For me also, it was quite difficult to manage time for doing online courses because of my regular physical classes. I've got a lot of assignments and my examinations, but I managed time for doing the courses, and I followed my interest. And whenever I got any free time, I would, instead of watching Facebook or any other social media, I would prefer to do online courses, because I was really interested in doing and learning new things. And beside courses on English, in the beginning I started from the course in English and computer science. But recently in this lockdown, I do a lot of course in psychology also. And I got to know about how can we how can we help other people maintaining the mental health. How can we learn about the psychology of other people? And I also did courses in COVID-19 and learned a lot of new researches about how COVID-19 has affected people all over the world, and how scientists are working on finding out the vaccine for the COVID-19. And I think it has helped me to learn a lot of great things.
Thank you, Vibhushi. That's something that I'm really curious about, because it's like you go to these MOOCs to learn one thing, but it opens other opportunities that maybe you didn't realize. So I'm just curious to hear from any of you, Richa, Sneha, Shukti, if what other things did you get interested in, if at all? I mean, it may not be, but since you have taken so many, I'm just curious. Go ahead, Shukti.
I intended to use Coursera for developing my writing skills, as I'm very passionate about telling stories. But then I discovered about mythologies and cultures of various people living through different ages, and I got really passionate about learning them, and I'm learning about them right now. About
Thank you
Greek
so much.
Egyptian.
That's wonderful. Thank you.
No, that's Shoni Punya. That's a very good question.
Isn't that cool though? I mean, see, that's what I think is like so fascinating.
I'm really passionate about this episode. Kurt, this is the best episode I actually, because I think the students, I am, because I'm writing a book, and just gives me, I'm going to write about this in my introduction. I just finished the book about learners without borders. I really do believe individuals, wherever they are, with MOOCs, with anything, they could go learn and they discover a different journey. Okay, so
yeah.
So this is.
So I'm just curious to Zhao. I'm going to add some more stories for your book. So Sneha, Richa, what other things emerged while you started this journey? What happened along the way that sort of felt like, I can also learn X, Y, or something else?
And I'll have a follow-up after that. Go ahead, Richa, and then I have a question for you.
Can I add?
Yes, please.
Yes.
In our like in our online classes, we were studying about a topic called punctuation and conjunction. So I connected it with a course called conjunction and punctuation. So it was helpful for me, and I gained double knowledge, one from my online classes and one another from online courses. So it was a double gift for me, learning from both sides. And then I had one strategy while doing online courses, that I applied for financial aid. uh, at one time I would apply for 4 or 5 courses. So after 15 or 14 days I would get chance to complete all that 5 courses at limited time of 2 or 3 days. And I also I didn't write in where for one single for one course in that box. Rather, I would draft a financial aid in Microsoft Word document. Then I could I would I used that in other courses as well. So it was less time for financial.
Thank you, Richa. Thank you very much. Sneha, you've been waiting very patiently. Go ahead.
So initially, I thought MOOCs were about learning English because it was introduced by our English teacher. I was weak in grammar than other students of my class, my classmates. So I took some courses related to English, writing and grammar, but I discovered a completely new field in which I was interested. I did a course on dinosaur paleobiology. That was complete. What I was there for was knowledge in English. And what I did was I learned about dinosaur paleontology, and it interested me so much that I did another course, early vertebrate evolution, that taught me about the history of the world and how it developed. So I got there for something else, and I was interested in a huge and completely different field, which makes me happy. I did a course that was like 5 or 4 weeks long, but the course I did about dinosaurs was 12 weeks long. I was kind of scared to take that course because it was completely new for me. I didn't know what course content was there, how we were taught, and it was completely different. I still remember in our previous book of class 9, there was a paragraph about 5 lines about fossils. That's the only knowledge I knew about fossils and paleontology, but I know a lot more now because of MOOCs. That's how I learned.
Thank you, Sneha. And it's the excitement in the things that you guys have learned is palpable. And that is like Zhao is really interested in students following their own passions. I'm also sort of very interested in that. But for me, it's really about connecting to learning in sort of a deep and profound way, which is personally meaningful to you. So paleontology or the human evolution or all of that and those different things that you guys have learned, it's very exciting. I know, Kurt, you had a follow-up, so I will pause.
Yeah, and one of them talked about Egyptian culture. I mean, just anything is possible. The world's at your fingertips now. And we had questions in the chat about infrastructure and about access and all that. But I'll remind you, as I started today, this is a holiday in America, my holiday, and it's a holiday for me. It's Halloween. It's my favorite one. And this is like magic. This is like it's magic to learn this way. So I have my magic wand with me, and really you've had your own magic wand saying, which course should I take now? I'm wondering if all of you could tell me what your favorite course so far has been, or the favorite 2 or 3 courses have been. So why don't we go around to everybody and just tell us what it was and why it was. Go ahead, Richie.
You're on mute, Richa. You're on mute.
My favorite course so far was Science of Solar System, and it was one of my the courses I was very interested because my topic of interest is science. So I got to know about solar system and how the process, all about the Milky Way, asteroids, comets in very detailed way. I had 5 weeks, and in that, I also had some peer graded assignments, which I felt a little bit difficult. But when I went detailing, listening all the lectures, and even sometimes I used to skip the lectures and read the written transcript to to understand more clearly. It helped me a lot, even in my school, in my science subject, like all information about it. So it was very honored, it was very happy moment for me to achieve that certificate, Science of Solar System, which I also showed to my science teachers, and I got a lot of appreciation from them.
Anyone else want to add to that? Sneha?
My favorite course would probably be Dino 101, Dinosaur Paleobiology, like I mentioned before, because it opened a whole new world of learning. I was inside a bubble in which learning was limited to the subjects that were taught in our school. But that course has inspired me to learn other courses that are not in our books. Recently, I have been doing a course that is called Astro 101, black holes, and the course that I did, Dino 101, inspired me to do that because it was a completely new course and I liked it very much. So hope I would like this course as much as I liked that one.
Anyone else want to jump in and
May I?
Yep.
I will suggest my first course, which was science, English for science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Because I had learned with my colleagues of Sengza and Nalpur. That was very pretty good experience for me, taught by Bayman sir. So it was very good for me to learn for the first time. So I would like to suggest the STEAM course.
Anyone else?
Can I?
Yep, sure.
My favorite course so far has been Cliques, Switches, and Wire, the world of historical fiction, because I am really interested in history and writing. So those two, this course blended those two quite well. So
Maybe we should go to an audience question, but I notice in your answers you talk about overcoming challenges, and and you talk about helping your friends and helping your brothers and sisters learn from MOOCs. It's almost possible, Bayman, that all your students could write a guide to help other students get access, help other students around the world understand how to get access to this. Have you thought about taking their experiences and creating a little guidebook or tips or overcoming challenges in the developing world, in the global South? Have you thought about that, Bishwa or Bayman?
Yes, of course. I have definitely been thinking for the same, and that is the reason why I'm in search of someone who can supervise my thesis and my research and others. No, as I said, I have been teaching for over 20 years, and it all have been the marker and the board, and I haven't had chance to explore more about the research skills and others, and I want their stories reach those who are in need. And I do believe that internet is being widely spread across the country, and these students, they are far better, far smarter than who we are. They can explore the courses that fit their interests, that fit their needs. And of course, if we don't guide these students, or if we don't guide these students to find the courses that fit them at the moment, then we are going to will see their ruined future. No? And in a sense, if we want to see the global competitors and I do feel that we have to guide them. And what I have been doing is I have not just been guiding them how to take the courses, and at the end of the session, I suggest them complete some courses and guide at least one more student. And that student, after 10 years, will be feeling really proud of you. Oh, my sister, my brother, it's because of my sister, it's because of my brother, I could do the course. One interesting information is one of the guys who completed the course first, I believe, maybe from Nepal, no? In 2014, now he's studying, doing his undergraduation in University of Rochester in New York, and he gives the credit to where he is to the MOOC campaign that we started here in school. And it would be an honor for us to have the support from you expert, online learning expert, to help us uh, to guide us how we can reach, take their stories to other parts of the globe. Back to you, Coach.
I was just wondering if Chris would have a comment or question, because Chris, you've been doing a lot of work in this area. Chris?
Well, my question would be whether you have friends that you don't think could learn from MOOCs. Because there's a lot of research that shows that while a small number of people can learn in a completely unguided way, and I applaud your ability to do that. I think that's wonderful. That's not universally true. In fact, it's not true for most people, which is why MOOCs have not lived up to the promise that they had. They've lived up, in your case, to the promise, but not to everybody. So I wonder, if you've tried to help somebody to use MOOCs and found that it just didn't work for them.
Thank you very much, Chris, for your question. Yeah, indeed. There were a couple of times like I felt like, oh, I felt to instill them the power of MOOCs now. But what I have been doing is I have been trying to take them into some very easy MOOCs, not difficult ones. And I suggest them to go for some self-paced MOOCs, not the regular ones, but the self-paced ones. That's what they can complete on their own speed. And I suggest them not to choose the MOOCs that are of 5 weeks plus, because of course, every student, when they try to do something, they want to see the achievement, and they can't wait for 2 months or 3 months. And next thing, there is another challenge for them, that they have to show their parents what they have really been doing. That's the reason, like, I suggest them to take some MOOCs that are very easy and connected to their curriculum. And then when they complete one course, then slowly they jump to others and others. You have heard of a girl who said that she completed a course of 12 weeks long. And of course, that was not her first course. Her first course was on COVID. And that's what she could have completed in 4 to 5 hours time. Okay. So for those students, and of course, English is not their first language, no, not our first language, not my first language either. So in that case, if they start with something very simple, slowly I have gathered some other courses that can help them complete it easily and easily and in a short period of time. And once they complete them, they can switch to the others. And
So
that's how I guide my students from public schools also. So private school students are somehow better in English than those students from public schools. And in order to help the students from public schools come into the MOOC track, I guide them accordingly.
So Dodzy,
Sir, let me jump. Can you? Yeah, sorry, Kurt. Can you also talk about their need to get 100% scholarship?
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much, Vishwaji. Yes. So at the beginning, in 2014 and 2015, it was much easy for us to motivate the students to take the courses. That's because that time EDX used to offer honor course certificate if the students could cross 70%. and they follow some of the systems given there. But later, in the later half of, second half of 2015, edX stopped that policy. And it was a big challenge for us because these students wanted to see something, no? Wanted to get something. Of course, the certificate to showcase their achievement. And when they can't get it, they felt really bad because they can be exploring what they need even from Google. Now, why do they need to go to the go to some courses? So, and that gave me a big pressure. And right at the meantime, regional English language office came up with one idea. When I was doing a project on mentoring on MOOC Magic, now then they gave us an idea. Okay, US Embassy Nepal is going to offer them the certificate. The condition was I had to collect the mark sheet. They used to give us the mark sheets in idiots. So I had to collect the mark sheet from the students and pass it to US Embassy. And in return, US Embassy would prepare a certificate in the name of the students. So that's how the US Embassy Nepal support had been very instrumental in helping me get more and more strengths in MOOCs. So this is how we got the certificates. Now we made the certificates on our own, and this verified that the students completed the course from edX. And now we are encouraging the students to take the course from Coursera. In Coursera, there is a provision for financial aid, and of course, being the students from a developing country, and these students can have financial aid. They have to apply for the financial aid, and all these students have written 102 questions of 150 words each. So this is also how they are learning English. Thank you.
So let me just summarize. This is not just the success of the MOOCs. Think about TV universities, radio universities. All of this, in order to work, you have to have a local ecosystem. So you've been building a local ecosystem. So as much as I'm excited about writing, but so the local ecosystem, what you've been building, the network to get to the students is very important. TVs, we've done the same things. TV university, we used to do correspondence schools, we've used to do. The local part is very, very important. I think that's what I've learned from this. So thank you very much for this. Kurt, back to you, and you want to announce next week?
Yes, it's back to me, and I don't know who's going to announce next week. Whose show is it? But
Chris, is that yours? Yeah.
Yes. Next week we will meet at 11. Again, a different time because our guests are from Myanmar, and they will be discussing the use of different kinds of XR for immersive learning, including augmented reality. So I'll have that episode posted shortly, and I hope to see everyone join us.
So Myanmar and Nepal. That's very good. So we're going back to India, Punya. We got India and China. We're focusing on that area.
Around India.
I want to give a round of applause and thank everybody for coming in today, a long distance, and for all your time. And for the people coming in in the chat window, we didn't ask all your questions, so there are great questions there as well. We'll have probably some follow-up via email on some things about the challenges that you faced and how you overcame those challenges. So thank all those kids that have, and I wish you well in your journey, in your learning journeys in the future. Thank you.